Hello everyone, today I will talk about my whole health journey that I had from a basically vegan to a raw meat eater. I will tell you how I got rid of allergies, low energy and a couple of very serious diseases that I had. So let's start in 2020, where I basically thought to myself, it's a very good idea to save money, because at that time I was like into investing and so on, and I was like, you know what, it's a good idea to save money. So what did I do? Buy the cheapest food that you could ever buy. And guess what that is? Well, that is pasta, tomato sauce, rice, and some beans and some peas. That is basically what I ate every day. My normal meal was bread with some cheese, and then for the evening I ate pasta, like a lot of pasta. I'm not kidding, I ate like 400 grams of pasta with tomato sauce and some peas because I needed the protein, right? So that's what I thought. And at that time my health was definitely the worst it's ever been. And I think that went on for about 2 years, 2 whole years, from 2022 to about 2024. And then in 2024, I decided to pick up boxing. It's not my first time I picked up boxing. I've been a boxer for quite a long time now. It's been probably 7 years now total. I stopped, but overall I did that for that long. So then I was like, hey, I do need more protein when I am boxing because I need to recover more and so on. So what I then did was I ate more meat. That was a good decision, of course, but it was cooked meat and it only was chicken because I did not like red meat. For whatever reason, I didn't like it. It wasn't in my taste, no idea. So what I basically then ate at around the middle to the end of 2024 was basically burritos every day. So I ate like these, grain tortillas with overcooked chicken, with vegetables, with tons of processed sauces, cooked in seed oils. So that is what I consumed. Also a lot of spices and so on. And my health wasn't good. Sure, I was doing okay. I finally ate some meat, not like I did the 2 years before. But I still felt not that good, to be honest. So I definitely had some health problems. And the worst health problem that I had was something called a pulsating tinnitus. And I'm going to tell you what that is. It is not nice, I can tell you that. So, a pulsating tinnitus is basically when you hear your heart pumping in your ear. So think about it. Whenever there's silence, so for example at night, then you hear do-do, do-do, do-do in your ear. And I only had it with one ear. And I can tell you, this is the worst thing that can happen to you because you cannot sleep. The first 2 days I had this pulsating tinnitus, I don't think I slept more than 3 hours within 2 nights. And the following weeks were equally as bad, if not worse. And my health deteriorated very rapidly from that point on, because if you can't sleep, then you don't have any hormones and you can't recover from anything. And I thought, this is a disease that, it strikes people for no reason. What can I do? But I thought I had to fix it. So I was like, come on, there has to be something. I have to be able to fix it. So I went on YouTube, like any person would do who is searching for the truth. And I tried many things. There were many videos saying, haha, do this, and you will get rid of your pulsating tinnitus immediately. Well, I can tell you, it did not work whatsoever. I cleaned my ears, I did some detoxes, I massaged my scalp, and all of these kind of things that those gurus tell you to do when you have such a disease. None of that shit worked. So then I was depressed. I can tell you that because, again, this was robbing me of every night's sleep that I could ever get. And also, by the way, there were people in the comments of the videos saying that they had this shit for 4 years and they wanted to end themselves. So seeing that while you can't sleep and you feel like absolute garbage and your brain doesn't really work, that kind of scares you when you think that this is gonna be your reality for the rest of your life. But I then, by accident, completely by accident, stumbled upon the podcast that Jordan Peterson did with Joe Rogan, where he talked about the carnivore diet. And first I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the hell? What the fuck is the carnivore diet? You need nutrients. What the fuck are you? Meat is only for protein. Meat is only for protein and a little bit of fat. I need nutrients. I can't do carnivore. So I put it away and my pulsating tinnitus got worse and worse. But after 2 weeks or something, I stumbled across the same video and immediately got recommended to me again. And I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna watch it again. And in the video, Jordan Peterson said, a lot of people with health problems, it doesn't matter what it is, arthritis, whatever, leaky gut, they all fix their shit within a couple of weeks. And seeing as I hadn't slept in a couple of fucking weeks, I thought this is my way to probably heal myself. I mean, I have nothing to lose. If I die, I die. My reality is worse than dying right now anyways. Okay, so the very next day I went to the supermarket, got myself some eggs. I think it was like 20-30 eggs. I got myself a big fat steak. I got myself some ground meat and some butter. That day I cooked it. Ate it all. I didn't really like it. Only salt, no sauce, nothing. Didn't really like it. That night, it wasn't better. I was like, fuck it, John Peterson, Joe Rogan, those people fucking lied to me. They are liars. They lied to me. But I was like, fuck it, I can't give it up. How am I gonna give up now? So the next 2 days, I tried again. I ate only meat and eggs and a little bit of salt that I ate at the time. And it was gone. The first night where I laid my head on my pillow and there was no sound, there was nothing. I cannot tell you the feeling I got from that. Because when I think I had this pulsating tinnitus for like 2 months straight. I had no control over my life at that point because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't function as a human. So that was the first night where I finally had relief. And then I was like, hey, this is working. I gotta research why it's working, And then I stumbled across other carnivore YouTubers that told me that anti-nutrients are bad and so on. And I made the decision to then go full-on carnivore, which I think was a very good decision to go on. So then I was on carnivore 2 weeks. Everything I had was gone. The pulsating tinnitus was gone. I had dermatitis, so very itchy elbows, that was gone as well. All of my health problems were completely gone. Nothing at all anymore. But then I got very skinny. On carnivore, I think it is very hard to get enough calories. So I got very skinny very fast. I lost about 5 kilos, which is about 12 pounds in a span of a month. So I was like, okay, I gotta fix this. Let me go to the gym again because I wanted to build good weight, muscle and so on. So I went to the gym and I made gains really fast. Within, I think 3 months, I built a really, really impressive physique. But suddenly I felt good I felt good on carnivore before I was training. But then as soon as I started training, I felt bad again. It was weird. I didn't understand because I followed the conventional advice of eat right and go to the gym. That is what everybody is telling you to do. And it didn't work. Suddenly, even on the carnivore diet, I had low energy, I didn't sleep well, and I had a lot of stress. So I was like, fuck, what is this shit? Why is it not working? And then I understood, hey, working out actually stresses your body, which interferes with the functions of the body that you have. So then I looked into, less stressful forms of training, like, for example, the methods of Mike Mentzer, who says that you only should train, once every 5 days, only do very low reps and sets, and try to not stress your body and prioritize the recovery period. I did that. That worked, and I had lower stress, but it wasn't really what I was looking for. I still felt like something was wrong, and I don't know, I can't really put the name on it, but suddenly I stumbled across Gotis/Swaraj. And that immediately changed my whole perspective on nutrition. I was a little, a little distant from the ideas, I guess you can say. Because we have always been told that raw meat is bad for you, raw eggs are bad for you, everything needs to be cooked and so on. But I, for example, myself knew that raw milk was good. And he said in a video, well, when you know that raw milk is good, why would, raw meat then be bad? And I was like, damn, that is a good argument. That is a very good argument. So then I tried eating raw meat, and that improved my health even more. I stopped working out, like he said, and I basically followed his diet, and a combination of his diet and the diet of Aajonus Vonderplanitz. And it has led to pretty much the best shape and the best health, the best way I felt ever in my life, to be honest. It also led to me actually growing at the, ripe age of 21 years old. Most people will tell you it is completely impossible to grow at 21 years old. Yet I have, in the first 2 months on the, I guess, raw primal diet, you can say, so eating raw meat, raw eggs, and drinking raw milk, I grew 2.5 centimeters, which is 1 whole inch. You can tell me whatever you want, but that is pretty good, especially at 21, when everybody is telling you it is simply not possible to grow at that age. And I've been at a doctor when I was, I think, 16 or 17, and he told me that my growth plates were completely closed. So it should have never been possible for me to grow, especially at 21. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I inspired you to maybe go on the raw carnivore, raw primal journey yourself. And I will see you in the next video.